Jeepers Creepers is a 2001 horror movie directed by Victor Salva. A brother and sister driving home through the countryside find themselves pursued by a mysterious killer who holds a terrifying secret. But before we get into this creepy caper, I just want to ask that if you end up enjoying this video, then please think about hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. It would really help me out. So thanks. Also, there will be full spoilers ahead, but if that doesn't bother you, then grab your jack-o'-lantern flavoured popcorn and whip out your Justin Long Island iced tea as we dive into Jeepers Creepers. So the movie begins with these fence posts just minding their own business, enjoying the nice weather, when we see a car coming down the road containing our protagonists, who we'll get to see any second now. Any second now. Any second now. Oh, hurry up, will you? I haven't got all day! So our main characters are Trish and Darry, but I'm going to call them Dish and Larry, because she's a dish, and I believe the name Larry went extinct around 2001. Anyway, Larry says,
I haven't seen a car in 50 miles.
Which is ridiculous, because not only is he in one, but the very next shot shows a vehicle just ahead of them, so they drive up behind it and check out its license plate.
Gay forever! That's mine.
That's a 6. That's sexy forever. That's mine. That's 5 to 2.
You know, I've watched this film many times over the last 20 odd years, and I still have no idea how this sodding game works. It make no sense, man! The drivers of the camper van ain't too pleased either, saying, Look at these young whippersnappers driving within the speed limit. How dare they obey the law? Now be a dear and pass me that blunt, will you, Ethel? I need something to take the edge off the smack. So Larry is questioning Dish about her last boyfriend, but she doesn't want to talk about it.
But you don't think I can understand the complex nature of your relationships?
Unless you can solve a Rubik's Cube with your feet while suspended upside down and blindfolded, then no. No, you can't. Then she turns on the radio. Welcome back to Root Vegetable FM, brought to you by today's sponsor, carrots. Have you ever wanted to eat a carrot but don't have any carrots? Well, come on down to Root Vegetable FM, where we're giving away a free carrot to every listener. Only while stocks last. No guarantee that carrots will help you see in the dark. Carrots are for eating only, not suitable to be used for a snowman's nose. Then we see a vehicle rapidly approaching them from behind. Check your mirrors, Larry! Check your mirrors! But instead of just pulling over to one side, Larry decides to swerve all over the road like a dumbass while the truck driver is like, Get out of the way! I need to claim a free carrot before they're all gone! He eventually gets past, but Dish and Larry are not very happy.
The hell is his problem?
Lack of carrots. It's enough to send even the best of us over the edge. Then they pull over for a stress piss, with Larry going next to a tree and Dish having a wee in a completely exposed field. Not that there's anyone around but I think you've got the pissing priorities the wrong way round. Then it's back to driving, until they spot that angry van man parked next to an isolated church.
What's he doing?
Looks like he's disposing of his dirty laundry, which is covered in blood, and in the shape of bodies. Phew! It's a good job he didn't see us. So they keep driving, but the baddie hops in his truck and starts following them. But their proper old car has a top speed of slow as fuck, so he's up their arse in no time. Yeah, arse. And oh no! He's bumped the bumper! You better have insurance, you bastard! Time for some tactical swerving!
Just don't kill us, okay?
Otherwise the baddie will have nothing to do this afternoon. So instead Larry decides to smash through a fence because it looked at him funny, and ends up disrupting a gathering of pigeons who were celebrating Lal Feathery Bob's birthday. I can't believe that just happened! You ran over Feathery Bob! On his birthday! So Larry tries to repair the bumped bumper by holding it together with a pair of kecks, which we all know is a solid alternative to rope. Dish is all like, well, today's gone a bit shit, hasn't it? But Larry wants to make it even more shit, and he suggests going back to check out the body disposal pipe, which is a truly terrible idea. Dish, being the voice of reason, is like, we are not going back, and that's that. But Larry says,
What if it was you back there?
Then I would want someone to get the emergency services. Now get in the car, shut up, and drive us home. Go back to the pipe. Can't believe you even suggested that. So they arrive back at the pipe and are greeted by these dodgy crows who are all like, Alright mate, if you want to park there it's going to cost you a $5. Do you have change for a tenner? Nah mate. They get out of the car and find another crow next to the pipe saying, Oh, you don't want to look down there mate. Some nasty shit down there mate. What? But they have a look anyway, and it's pitch black so they can't see anything. Looks like you need a flashlight mate. Good job old Joe Crow's got you covered, eh? How much? Tenner mate. And let me guess, you don't have change for a 20. Course I do. What do I look like, a magpie? But then Larry hears a voice coming from within the pipe, and in a decision he will come to regret shortly, he climbs into it, much to Dish's disapproval.
You know the part in scary movies where somebody does something really stupid? This is it.
But her stubborn brother ain't got time for common sense, so he tells Dish to hold his feet. Then upon seeing some rats in the pipe, he starts flailing like a demented Tickle Me Elmo. Why the hell do people always freak out over rats in movies? I mean, if it was filled with something actually scary like honey badgers, then I could understand, but rats? Get the hell out of here. So Larry falls down the pipe and we get this excellent shot of him in super slow motion as he hits the bottom. Dish shouts down to him,
Jerry, say something!
"Beans." What? Beans! Then the cheeky bugger has the gall to blame Dish for his current predicament, despite it being entirely his fault. But then he finds one of the bodies the baddie dumped down there, and it starts wriggling so he unwraps its head. "Oh, cheers, fella. I could hardly breathe in there, although that could be due to me no longer having any lungs." "How's it looking?" "I'll be honest, man. It's gonna leave a scar." "Oh, good. Chicks dig scars, apparently." "Yeah, but only if you're alive." Then he dies, leaving Larry thinking, well, that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and will haunt me for the rest of my days.
Say something, you're scaring the shit out of me!
Beans! What? Beans! But seriously, though.
We gotta get out of here.
No, let's stay and feed the birds.
Ugh, sounds good to me, darling. Larry says he's going to try and find a way out, and tells Dish to flag down the next car she sees and ask for help. So Larry has a look around thinking, ooh, big bottle of red liquid there. Might chug that if I get thirsty. Then he notices his shoelace is undone, so all of the priorities are temporarily rescinded. Oh man, a leaky ceiling? Honestly, could this place get any worse? Are you going to tell him, or should I? Nah, he'll find out himself in a second. He shines his flashlight up to find the entire ceiling is covered in dead bodies. And I know they're supposed to be preserved or whatever, but that doesn't change the fact that these are the shittest looking dead bodies I have ever seen. I mean, look at these two, for God's sake. I've made better corpses out of plasticine. Meanwhile, Dish is keeping an eye out for anyone who can help, but those damn crows won't stop pestering her. God blimey, you've got a nice ass. I'd love to have a peck at that. The only thing you'll be pecking is your beak out of my boot if you don't shut up. But then Dish notices a van approaching. It looks like the baddie is back! So she hops in the car and struggles with the worst gear stick of all time. Seriously, whoever designed that monstrosity deserves a schlap, no matter how long they've been dead for. But it turns out not to be the baddie, thank goodness. Then Larry turns up and Dish does a good impression of me when I accidentally put on Ghostbusters 2016 instead of the original. So they keep on driving till they eventually find a diner. But before they go inside, they see the baddie's truck heading back towards the church. So they rush inside.
Excuse me, we need help.
Are you local?
Everyone is too busy enjoying their steak and chips to help, and Larry isn't helping either, acting like he's just seen a tapestry of dead bodies or something. Then the payphone next to them starts ringing, so Dish answers it.
Yeah, hello.
Have you seen the cats yet?
No.
Who is this?
Derry?
No, this isn't Darry or Larry. My name is, Cedric von Benglesmensch.
You have a torn shirt, right?
And you're about to forget that that phone is attached by a cable.
I don't know if it's a demon or a devil.
But it thinks you smell well good, and it wants to eat your eyes.
Fuck you, lady.
Well, that sounds like it went well. Can we just call the cops now so we can get the hell out of here? Right you are, Dish. But first I need you to fetch me a lubricant. My face is stuck to the glass. Once the cops show up, Larry explains everything he saw, but they're having a hard time believing him.
I told you, I grabbed one of them like this.
Yes, Larry. Manhandle the police officer. That'll surely go down well. But then the waitress interrupts them, saying there's some weird fella outside rooting through your laundry. So they run outside to find Larry's clothes all over the job. What the hell was he doing? I believe he was giving them a proper good sniff.
Looked like he was liking it too.
How so? He had a tremendous stonk on. Hard to miss. Everyone is pretty freaked out, so the cops offer to escort the siblings out of the state to make sure they're safe. But on the way, the cops get a call from their colleagues who went to check out the church, only for them to say it's on fire.
You sure that's not a couple of little pyromaniacs you're escorting out there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't set it on fire while I've been with them, you donut. Then all of a sudden they hear a big thud on the car roof.
Hold on, Central. The sky is falling.
Either that or there's an axe-wielding maniac on the top of the car. Oh, and now my partner has flown out of the window. Either that or she was pulled out of the window by an axe-wielding maniac on top of the car. Oh no, my head has been pulled through the roof of the car by an axe-wielding maniac! Well, what are the chances? Back to the siblings who somehow haven't noticed what's going on behind them. For the love of God, check your mirrors, people! Then all of a sudden a severed head bounces off the hood of their car, and they screech to a halt thinking, am I going mental or has it just started raining heads? They get out and Dish walks slowly towards the cop car, until she spots the policeman's severed head on the floor like, just give me a second. This decapitation has left me feeling rather lightheaded. Then the police car door opens and the baddie steps out, so Dish retreats back to the car and they both watch as he picks up the severed head and gives it a proper good sniff.
What is he doing?
Holy testicle Tuesday! Is he French kissing that severed head? Because it looks like he's French kissing that severed head! Oh, he's just pulling out the tongue to eat it. Oh, thank God for that. So they speed off, leaving the baddie to finish his dinner in peace. Eventually, Dish and Larry come across a house and stop to see if they have a phone they can use. This old lady comes to the door and is like, "You're not here to take my cats, are you?" "No, ma'am." "Please, call me Grandma Meow." "Okay, Grandma Meow, we're being pursued by a man who likes to eat tongues and is partial to a good sniff. Can we use your phone, please?" "You can if you can find it. It's buried under a veritable mountain of cat shit." Then Grandma Meow notices something odd, so she pulls out a shotgun and says,
"You got 10 seconds to get your ass out of my yard."
Personally, I would have just given him to the count of 5! Then boom, she shoots the bugger, and he explodes, but then he's in the house? What the hell is going on?
I mean, what the hell is going on?
So Grandma Meow waddles her way back into the house to save her 5,479 cats, only to reappear a few seconds later being suspiciously quiet and worryingly rigid. Rigid? Oh, you filthy little thing, Ken. Grandma Meow? Are you dead? "No, not yet. I'm about one toss away, though." Then we get our first proper good look at the creeper, which is what the baddie is called, by the way, and whoo boy! That's a face for radio if I ever saw one. Once again, the siblings leg it, and the creeper tosses Grandma Meow into an early grave. Well, not really an early grave. I mean, she's probably dying from toxoplasmosis from all that cat shit. So, really, I think the creeper did her a favour. They get back in the car and reverse out onto the road, with Mr. Creeper stood in their way. So they do what anyone would do in that situation, they try and run him over. But the slippery little bugger just does a funny little run over the top of the car. So they try and reverse, but he does the same thing again! Realising they're only contributing to his daily cardiovascular exercise, Dish decides to trick him by making him think the gears are stuck. So he starts walking towards the car, and then surprise for the mucker! She pops it into gear and runs him down. To be honest, I don't know why that threw him off, really. He still had loads of time to prep his loud funny run, but there you go. Then, just to make sure he's down for the count, Dish runs over him again. And again. And again. Is he dead? I don't think so. He seems to be knocking back a can of Red Bull. Ha! They've been telling us for years and I haven't believed them until now. I'm going to have to try this for myself. Whew. Well, no wings, but I do believe I'm having a heart attack. Our heroes are understandably freaked out by this revelation, so they take off, running the creature over one more time in the process. Then we're at the local police station where this guy's being brought in saying, "Oh, come on officer, I only shot the guy once," while Dish is on the phone to their folks asking them to pick him up. But then the crazy lady who was on the phone at the diner turns up to give us some law regarding the creeper. She tells them that every 23rd spring for 23 days it gets to eat, and whatever part it eats becomes a part of it. Why 23 days? Why not 24? Well, because that's just overindulgent, isn't it? Ah, I see. Then we see the creeper turning up to the police station like, "I need to eat myself a new leg and quick. I can't be flopping around looking like a wazzock. I've got a reputation to uphold." Back inside the station and the lights go out, so one of the cops goes to check on the cells downstairs, only to find the creeper eating one of the detainees. Fancy spending the night in a cell for urinating in public only to have your arm and leg being eaten by a monster. Talk about punishment not being relative to crime, eh? Upstairs the police chief says they'll take Larry and Dish to a holding room so they'll be safe. But Crazy Lady protests, saying that's where the creeper finds you.
Jeepers, creepers, where'd you get those peepers?
"Crazy Lady, you are crazy. Go home, lady." But then an officer downstairs radios saying the monster's on its way up to them, so everyone draws their guns. This one brave fella goes for a closer look, but is attacked from above. He does his best to try and convince everyone he's okay, but they can see right through him. "You up there! Stop gulping! It's gross!" The others try and get out of the station, but the whole building is on lockdown, so the front door is shut tight.
Why don't you dream up something useful?
And then, evening. Dish and Larry run upstairs while the creeper creeps towards Crazy Lady. It grabs her and gives her a good sniff, but thinks, old and overweight. No thanks. So it leaves her be. Upstairs, the siblings hide in a dark room before the creeper comes crashing through the door like it's insulted its grandma. It grabs the two of them and gives them a royal snifferoo before tossing Dish away in favour of Larry. Then the mirror in the room smashes and the police show up all decked out with riot gear and assault rifles. "You, the horrendous monster, let him go!" "No, he smells good. I'm keeping him." Then his head gets even freakier and Dish tries to reason with it, saying,
Take me. Whatever you want. You can take it from me.
That is awfully tempting, but I'll have to decline. Bye!" Then it flies out of the window with Larry in its arms. Dish runs out of the police station to try and follow them, but hang on. Wasn't the station on lockdown? The front door was shut, but oh, sod it, it doesn't matter. She watches as the creeper and Larry disappear into the clouds, leaving her thinking, great, what am I going to tell our folks? Sorry, Mum, Larry was kidnapped by a flying monster that wanted to eat his eyes. And that's exactly the truth. As we see in the creeper's lair, it's hung up Larry's skin before it shows off its brand new spanking Larry eyes, which it'll only get to use for a few weeks until its 23 days are up. What a bloody waste. End of movie. And there we have it, folks. Jeepers Creepers is a brilliantly original and thoroughly entertaining early noughties horror classic. It's the sort of movie which brilliantly subverted expectations before that sort of thing became annoyingly commonplace. And if, like me, you watched this for the first time not knowing that the killer was actually a winged demon, then that twist was mind-blowing. I absolutely love Jeepers Creepers and think it's a really great horror movie, which makes it all the more disappointing that the director is a despicable nonce. So, Jeepers Creepers, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you loathe it? Let me know in the comments below, and from Ken and myself, we wish you all a happy Halloween.